Hey guys, it's Katie. I really appreciate you clicking on this video. So, like the title says, we're going to pick out one, maybe two of the products I would pick from each category if all I could do was pick one or two, because in some categories I just couldn't pick one. But this is if I had to have like the bare bones of a makeup routine, what I may consider buying, or if I had to declutter my whole collection and just keep one from every category. Right now, on this day, these are the ones I would choose to keep. Ask me in a week and it may be different. I don't know. Okay, but let's just get started. For primer, I know primers are like kind of out right now, but I do like to have a glowy or illuminating type base under pretty much all my face products. So I'm gonna stick to the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. I have it in 902 Light Glow. So yeah, this just gives an illuminating factor to the skin before you put your foundation on. It's not overly glowy. There's no like flecks of glitter in it. It just gives a tiny, tiny bit of a shine. Then for foundation, if you've watched some of my past videos, my very, very favorite foundation of all time is the L'Oreal Lumi Cushion foundation that is discontinued, although I have a few backups, but I didn't want to share that because you can't get your hands on it. So I'm actually going to mix together two slightly newer products to my collection, but I really like them both. I've never mixed them together, so maybe mixing them is cheating, but I feel like I don't know which one I would pick if I had to choose one. Anyway, they are the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. I have the shade Fair, which is probably a little too light for me right now. I really want to go back and get I think the next shade Deeper is just light. But then I'm going to mix it with the Missha BB Cream in the shade 23. Usually this comes in like red packaging, but this was like limited edition Friends packaging. But they're both kind of dewy, and the Missha Cream is a little bit more coverage than the Wet n Wild, and it has a bit of a gray undertone. You can see they're not similar colors at all. This one is the Wet n Wild and this one is the Missha. But I'm just going to mix them. Look, these mixed together made a pretty good shade for me. Way too much. I do not wear a lot on my face right now. Actually, some days when I've been putting on makeup, I've just been skipping the whole foundation thing and going right to like blush and bronzer. Yeah, I really like that. It still lets my natural skin shine through. It just provided like a smooth, evened out surface, I guess. Where did this come from? For my concealer, I have yet to find a concealer that just totally wins me over. I feel like I have some sort of issue with every concealer I've tried. However, the one that I've been reaching for lately is the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Concealer, just because this is supposed to be a lot less drying than some concealers can be. I guess this line in general, their target market is a little bit of the demographic with mature skin, but I have really dry under eyes, so it's been working for me. It just doesn't have as much coverage. I definitely have a little bit of darkness right here. I like to cover thanks to chemotherapy and fatigue. But this does blend in very well, very quickly. The powder, this one was not the one I first thought I was going to pick, but when I was kind of looking at my powders and looking at the different finishes they gave me, I decided that I did really enjoy this Milani Prep Set in Glow. It's just a really soft, illuminating powder without any noticeable glitter flecks. This just lets all that luminosity shine through, but does set your makeup a little bit to tame down that tacky feeling you may have from your foundation or base products. It does not cling on to any dry patches. It doesn't even look like I've put powder, but it makes my skin feel really smooth, and like I said, takes that tackiness away. Bronzer, blush, and highlight. These were difficult as well because right now I am very into the cream game because I do have drier skin and I know the cream thing is all the rage right now. However, when I really thought about the one product I had to use all year round, like year after year, something that just is tried and true and has worked, is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I just have it in the shade Bronzer. It is what it is. It's good. It has that in-between finish for me where it's not matte, but it's not one of my glowy or luminous bronzers. It's just that in-between like satin finish. I feel like that's a word that I need to use to describe finishes, because I'm always thinking, okay, what's in between matte and dewy? And I think satin is a good word. Bronzer, it can be built up, it can be really light, barely there. They've come out with a lot more shades. Blush, again, was another one of those where I was like, I have so many cream ones I've been loving, so many powder ones I've tried out in the past like year or so that I've really loved. But again, I had to go with what has been tried and true for me, and that would be the CoverGirl Cheekers blush in the shade Plumberry Glow. This, I've used up an entire one of these. It just really is the shade that is, to me, something I don't have to think about. It looks super like deep and pigmented, but these blushes also can really be built up. You can make them more sheer. You can build them up. And I love a pink toned blush. I love the look of blush. It livens my face up. It's a color I don't have to think about. For highlight, I really did think about going with the Mary Luminizer by The Balm because that was the first highlight I ever owned, and I still love it. It is still one of my top favorites. But something I would pick over that is the Benefit High Beam Liquid Highlighter. I just feel like it gives the most natural bit of glow to your cheekbones without looking like you have put something. I am not one for the beaming highlights. I am one for almost like that sweaty look without being sweaty. I mean, I hope you can see how that just glows when the light hits it in different areas. I'm also not one of those Rudolph highlight gals, but I do like to put a bit down just the center of the bridge of my nose. A little bit up here. Although I am a sweater, so if I want to look like I'm sweating, I usually am just actually sweating. love this. I feel like this is something, if I saw this on someone else's skin, I would be like, what's their skincare that makes their skin look so glowing? But it's really just this little liquid highlight. I am not a huge brow person. When my brows are all the way in and not like half there because of chemo, I really just have to run like a simple gel through them, like the Essence Make Me Brow. Right now, there are some sparse areas, so I really just go with the CoverGirl, I don't even know what they call it, but the CoverGirl Ultra Fine Brow Pencil in Soft Brown. Alright, my brows, they're not super bold, but they're just a little bit filled in. I don't like the look of overly done brows. I mean, I guess it's partially the in thing right now because we all like the feather brow, and that's usually not natural, but as long as they're filled in but still look like hair, I'm good. Next thing we're going to is the eyes. I always need an eye primer, and the one that has stuck with me over the years is the Urban Decay Primer Potion. However, when this runs out, I do want to try the Milani eye primer, because I've heard it is really just as good and it's a heck of a lot cheaper. But I will say Urban Decay Primer Potion has never failed me when it comes to creasing and longevity. And then for eyeshadows, I thought, you know, what could I possibly choose for like one staple eyeshadow thing? And I thought, okay, I'll have one colorful palette and one kind of neutral looking palette. And I think for my colorful palette, I would have the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde. Even if I tried to stick to drugstore, I feel like this is one of those high-end items that I would have spent my money on or asked for Christmas or something like that. The shades, just in my opinion, cannot be beat. The neutrals, you know what? I am really into eye crayons, like the Nude Sticks ones, and this brand called Alley Oop. I love their like eye cream pencils. So I may have those, or I may have stuck with the ColourPop That's Taupe palette, because I have always been a cool toned girl. I suffered through the last how many years of warm tones being the trend, and now we're back with cool tones. So I am a taupe cool toned girl. However, I thought because it's more fun, we're gonna do a look today from the Mercury Retrograde palette. And this is a look I saw, I think, Mona Katan doing, which is Huda's sister. And it's going to be, I think, an all matte look. But I'm going to go in with the shade Off Balance. This kind of mauve-y shade. All over the eye. She went in with this super deep plum called Vortex in the crease. Then she put this super fun haze all over the lid. And these are all matte shades. Back. Oh, did you bring me your alligator? No fallout. I'm shocked. But this look is so fun. I love how we have that mauve shade all over and then that plum shade just kind of comes through the crease. I love this. I don't know. I'm tempted to put some kind of shimmer on top. I might, just a little. They have this like topper shade called Supermoon right here. It looks super stark and white, but if you can see on my finger, it's just like a multicolor topper shade. So I might just wipe that on the center with my finger a little bit. It kind of has some pinks and purples and blues in it. So I just took that plum in the mauve shade and ran it under my lash line a little bit. Okay, I am loving, I've never worn this whole combination of makeup together, and I'm especially loving how this powder is looking over this concealer, and I can hardly ever stand powder over my under eye concealer because it just looks horrible, but this is not looking horrible. Okay, for eyeliner, 100% I would keep repurchasing the Balm Schwing liquid liner. 100% for my liquid liner. And then for black eyeliner, like a pencil liner, I don't have a staple, but the one I have repurchased is the Urban Decay 24/7 in Perversion. But I do think I'd probably just keep buying from the drugstore. I really do. I don't think, because black liner is something I wear a lot, and I don't think I'd keep repurchasing kind of a high-end one. But I don't even have a liquid liner or a pencil liner from the drugstore right now. So we're just going to have to go with this one. But I would probably keep looking at what's new from L'Oreal, CoverGirl, Maybelline, all of it, Milani. But I'm just going to use this to tightline. That's all I'm going to do for liner. For mascara, I know I 100% would continue using this combo. This is my favorite combo. It is the CoverGirl Clump Crusher as a first coat, and then the L'Oreal Voluminous as the second coat. This really spreads out your lashes. This really thickens them. It's the perfect combo in my book. However, these are not open right now, and I'm not going to open them yet. One I have opened right now is the Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions Tubing Mascara, so that's just what I'm going to use. Sorry. Right, and finally on to lips. I'd probably just stick with the NYX lip liners. They're $4. There's tons and tons of shades, and I don't know that if I didn't love makeup as a hobby that I'd have many lip liners. So I have this one from NYX, their Suede Matte Liner in the shade Sandstorm, and it's just a basic nude right here. I was watching my lip colors. And I'd really just probably do a lip liner like this, a matte pencil, because those tend to be the ones that do cling on to whatever you put on top of it and give it a little more longevity. Now, when it comes to my lip product, if I was picking out from my collection that I have right now, I would definitely take out my Tarte Color Splash lipsticks. This is one of my top favorite formulas, and I have picked out the color Salt Life right here, a pretty pinky mauve. However, if I was just like going to the drugstore and picking out one product from each kind of category, I think I would stick with the L'Oreal Colory Shine lipsticks, and I picked out the shade Burnished Blush. I love this formula too. You can see it just has a little shine to it. That's kind of like, it kind of makes it like a lipstick gloss hybrid. I think I'm first going to put on the Tarte one in Salt Life. So here's what that one looks like. If I were to also pick a gloss, which I don't know if I would do that, I think after trying the Maybelline Lifter glosses, I would go with this one and probably have multiple shades of it. You know what, let me put this Burnished Blush from L'Oreal on top of this. Oh, I'm really here for that combination. I like that. And you know what, just to be complicated, I'm going to put the Lifter Gloss in Pearl on top of that. I always wipe my doe foot off after I get some other color on it. Oh yes. Oh, I love this. I love this. Okay, and then the setting spray I would go for. The only one from the drugstore that I think I'd keep repurchasing, because I do notice a difference in the wear time of my makeup, is the Milani Make It Last. However, I do not have that right now because I have other setting sprays I am working through, but that is the one I plan on repurchasing. So I'm just going to use what I have, which is something from TJ Maxx called Morning Dew. Okay guys, this is the final look from the products I would choose if I had to pick one or two from every category. I am impressed. Like I said before, I've never used all of these products together, and you know what? I would not be mad at this little condensed collection here. Thank you for checking out this video. I will see you hopefully in my next one. Peace out, guys.